You maybe have heard that these are inducing suicidal ideation and people are, getting severely depressed on them. And the EU opened a whole research into it. And people are very concerned about this. And yet we've got studies showing really positive impacts on depression and anxiety. And the thing I will say about that is I'm not saying that people on Ozempic are not having suicidal ideation, but that is a little more nuanced of a conversation because number one, when you lose a significant amount of weight very quickly, all kinds of things can go wrong. You can end up with pancreatitis. You can end up with gallstones. You can end up with severe depression. Your fat stores your hormones. And so you lose your hormones very quickly. I've had patients who got tummy tucks and came in a few months later and were losing their minds because they literally just had all of their hormonal depots sucked out of their stomach. And so there's concern there that this rapid weight loss, which again, I am not a fan of. I am not a fan of doing it that way. But if you drop somebody's weight significantly, you may end up with a very depressed mood state. We've also got a bit further to go with that in that many people are using food as their dopamine source and as their crutch or as their coping mechanism. And I'm not judging. I just understand that to be true. We all have our vice. And if you take that away from someone because they suddenly don't want to eat, because we've crushed their appetite with too high a dose, then I think that we could end up with a very depressed person in front of us. However, done correctly, and what I'm seeing clinically is people are having really profound benefits in their anxiety, in their depression, in their moods, in their cognition. I'm seeing neurodivergent folks taking it who are becoming much more functional in their everyday, day-to-day. I'm seeing people who are more of a hermit who don't want to go out in the world, suddenly venturing out, being more social. So there is an impact on the brain, and I think it's the anti-inflammatory mechanism. I think it's the dopaminergic system, the dopamine pathways being impacted. And again, if we're not cranking the dose up, I think that we can use these effectively to bolster mood, to improve cognition, to improve brain clarity. And all of that leads, an inflamed brain is a depressed brain. At the end of the day, we have to get that point really clear.